I think that there's many factors why Italy is interesting for institutional investor in this moment. Some of them might stays in the fact that from a macroeconomic perspective, Italy is relatively in a good position in terms of growth compared to other European countries. Also in terms of political stability, I think that that's for sure one of the main points, and also the huge public debt that we have in this moment in time, given the overall situation of all the countries which are increasing their exposure to debt, is becoming not so much less of an issue, but for sure not one of the topics in which people were more concentrated in the past. Therefore, it's a good environment. And also on the real estate side, I think that the fundamentals of real estate are pretty strong in Italy, especially for when it comes to understand the dynamics of demand and supply. For sure, the supply in Italy is very tight, while we have a quite strong demand, and that is true for a lot of asset classes. So I would say that a combination between a better image of the country in general and better macroeconomics, together with very strong real estate fundamentals, are the two reasons why investors are looking at Italy more and more actively. I would say that we're not very different compared to any other European market, and therefore, there's of course a diversification that investors are looking for after the let's say big problem that all the office and the way which investors are looking at offices have changed in a way the shape of the investment business. So for sure, the logistic investment and the logistics sector is definitely one of the most interesting. The per capita square meter, available square meters of logistic in Italy is the lowest in all Europe, in all continental Europe at least. And so this is reflecting the fact that the vacancy rate is still very, very low. And then, the regulation and general negative attitude of a lot of administration towards logistics are putting a big stop to the supply. So once again, strong demand-supply imbalance. This is going to go ahead for a number of time. Of course, the market is getting more mature, so you have to be more careful on what you do. You need to rely on local expertise, but nevertheless, it's definitely interesting as an asset class. The other asset class, which again do not make any difference compared to the rest of Europe, is residential. There's a lack of residential units in Italy. Likewise, there is in every other big cities, I would say, in Europe. And therefore, the residential market, it's interesting not only for the build to sell, because in Italy, a lot of people own their houses. So it's definitely a very interesting market, but also on the build to rent or on the more specific PBSA or senior living. All those sectors are attracting a lot of interest because, again, demand supply imbalance is very tight. Talking about student housing, for example, Rome and Milan, but Rome in particular is one of the cities that's got the lowest provision rate of beds available per student in all Europe. So once again, a lot of opportunity to build a product. And I would say, last but not least, the hotel is having a lot of momentum in Italy, especially because there's a big attention on project regeneration and on the redevelopment of assets which are coming out from the private sector, getting more into in institutional sectors. And because, we are also a big countries where tourism is also very strong, there's a lot of opportunity and potential that possibly Spain has exploited earlier than Italy. And I think that Italy is getting in a phase in which, investors think that there is a real opportunity in that sector as well. This type of event, like the district, are very important for real estate in general. I think they put together people coming from different, let's say, countries, also from different cities, and they represent a very important point of meeting and networking for the real estate business in a way in Europe. And and this event in particular, because it's concentrated especially in Southern Europe, it's actually a big news in the market. The market has been traditionally dominated by Northern European countries such as Germany, and let's say the Netherlands or things of this kind. Now, Southern Europe is really coming up as an interesting hub, is attracting more and more the interest of investors that for many years have been more focused on other type of countries. Therefore, the importance of this event in this moment in the market is even stronger, given the fact that we want to underline how interesting it is to invest in Southern Europe. And Southern Europe, of course, Spain and Italy got some differences, but I think that the point of contact are more than the point of difference. That's why it makes sense to promote the investment in the two countries together.